The recent proclamation by President Trump on the additional fees of $100,000 for the employer to hire somebody on an H1 has created a huge uproar among the Indian diaspora here and, of course, in India without doubt. Now, the White House has clarified that this is only for the new H1s beginning from this year, which is who have been just picked on the lottery. It's for them. The renewals and the prior H1 holders, they are exempt from this, so it's not going to impact them at all. So that should be a big relief for those H1s who have settled down here, who have got children, who have bought homes, fancy cars, so on and so forth. Nothing to worry. It's for the new ones. Now, when you see this, obviously, we will say, hey, what's this going on here? Why is the president doing this? But you should look back a little bit into this history. This is not unexpected. But the 100,000 was unexpected, but some form of correction was expected. The reason is the following. If you look from the 90s, when this IT boom began, some of the companies like Infosys, Wipro, many of them popped up and they did phenomenally well, went on to become world leaders in the service industry. But in the process, these owners, who are today celebrities like our Narayan Murthis, Nandan Nilginis, Aziz Premjis, Nadar, whoever that is, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. All of them forgot that they are dipping into a country and literally taking away jobs from the future generations. It did not impact in the 90s and up until 2000 or anything because America was not producing that many engineers or the talent needed for the software industry. But something drastic happened. In the period between the 80s and 2000, people started noticing that there is an opportunity in the STEM field. And the ones who migrated in the 80s and 90s, their children, started graduating, coming out of colleges in the 2005, 2008, so on. So obviously, most of the Indian kids, they have done phenomenally well. So no issues. They come from good colleges, good schools. They used to get jobs. So there was no issues. But in the last 5-6 years, there has been a slight shift. Local American kids, whether it is an Indian origin kid or any origin in that matter, they are slowly finding jobs hard to come by. But the H1s were continuing to flourish. Now, why did this happen? That's because the Indian staffing companies, along with the big tech companies of India, kept sending resumes of only H1 candidates. And the Indian hiring managers in various companies did not want to hire local kids from tier 3, tier 4 colleges. They would say they do not have the talent. They would just brush them off. Now, obviously, don't you think there was a duty for these companies like Infosys and TCS, Accenture, who made millions and billions of dollars, including IBM, to set up shop here, hire these kids, train them for 6 months, or take them to India and train them and bring them here and place them? They did not. They never ventured into it. In fact, Infosys, had a big show that they would have a center in Raleigh where they're going to hire 10,000 American-born kids who have graduated and train them. They didn't do anything. Probably hardly 1,000 or 2,000 they may have hired at the most. This is the kind of attitude these companies had. And what did our Indians do here, the H1Bs who came in? With the newfound wealth, because their salaries went to like 150, 200,000. I know some kids, husband and wife, who are making like $500,000. Can you believe at the age of 35? Can you believe that? And even more. They buy houses which is 5,000, 6,000 square feet, $2 million homes. Everybody has a Tesla or a BMW or fancy car. and flaunting this wealth, obviously everybody's eyes popped up. Especially there is one region of India where they come from. They speak a particular language, and they would be like, literally, they would walk in and go and buy a whole lot where entire clan would buy homes there. Not just one home, multiple homes. This is what was going on. And obviously, when the local guys see this demographic change happening overnight, especially in places like Texas, in Detroit, in California, you don't even feel if a local American goes, you'll be lost. Just as we would feel in some parts of India, if we go, we think it's another country, it's not India. I'm not naming here because I don't want to bring communal issues here, but I'm just giving you an example, analogy to it. This whole thing, why it happened. Had there been little sensitivity among our own people and try to integrate with the society, a lot of things could have been avoided. This integration never took place. And hiring managers, had they been little considerate, not realizing that their own children will be in the job market one day, kept ignoring these local kids because they would not be comfortable in speaking to them because they are not used to that language, right? They came from India, they were fortunate, they're technocrats, they didn't have to learn the accent nor understand the accent. They became managers, directors in large companies. But they did not want to hire the local kids. This happened in many places. All this contributed in many factors. And this timeline, look at it, a week ago, all the hot tech big ones were in the White House, which means this did not happen overnight. There was some talk that has gone into this. Staffing companies will be out of business, absolutely. So in a way, this is going to help the American kids. So who are listening in the United States, they should be happy that the jobs here in some way will be protected. As for India and the companies like Infosys, Tata's, do some thinking. What you guys did was wrong. You just literally, took everything from here and did not contribute. So partly you're also culpable to this. So this is anyway not going to hurt the existing H1s. It is for the new H1s. Probably a middle ground will come along the way. Maybe it may come down to 25,000. I'm hoping that fees. And let's hope things will change. But in a nutshell, we have also contributed to this unfortunate situation by not being sensitive and not integrating with the culture and trying to do a demographic change in many cities. Okay, thank you.